Well, in a lot of ways, Chad and me come from similar backgrounds. He's from the Detroit area. I'm from Pennsylvania. You know, we're neither one of us came from like arts centers. You know, I started playing in local bands in Pennsylvania when I was 11. Bar bands, just playing in bar bands, playing at fraternity parties for years. We're much more like working class coming out of that, and we're bar band guys. Chad came up playing in bands, and we both liked, you know, heavy stuff. I liked heavy guitar. I got to play with Chad just the other night, right there, the little joint we just passed called Stephen Talkhouse here in Amagansett on Long Island. And it was just me and Chad and my bass player, Freddie Cash Jr.
Yeah.
Great bass player. The three of us just doing a power trio thing, you know, and so much fun.
Often you say with people, oh, it'd be great to get together and play sometime, and then everybody's got busy schedules, obviously. He's busy, I'm busy. But last summer, he said, he just texted me out of the blue and said, you know, if you're out here, maybe we can, you know, play. And I was like, great. He goes, I got a bass player, and let's go play the Talkhouse. And we played, and it was just great. He's so musical and just a sweet guy. And yeah, I hope to play together more often, because it's a real treat.
Chad is one of the great rock and roll drummers. But to me, he's right up there with anybody. His groove, you think about all those great Chili Pepper records, it's about Flea and Chad. See all the old time musicians, when they pull in, they face out. They turn it around.
Yeah.
Because you never know when you're gonna have to run.
You know, obviously any musician is a fan of GE's, and seeing him on all those Hall & Oates videos, you know, and everything, and I just knew he was a musician's musician, that he could play with anybody, play any kind of style. Believe me, we didn't really talk about it at all. He was just like, we're just gonna talk and maybe, you know, play a little bit. I'm like, cool. Yeah. There was no planned out anything, very spontaneous. And I don't know, we're you know, he's gonna ask me a few things about me and my music and what I do and how I do it. And I'm gonna ask him about how I wanna know what he does and how he does it.
Yeah! Hey, little man.
Well, I started as a young boy at 7. I didn't have I was a little late for the whole Ed Sullivan Beatles moment, but I'm the youngest of 3 siblings, and my brother played guitar, my sister played piano, and so they kind of took the other instruments in the house. There weren't any drums in the house. No parent says, hey, Johnny, you wanna take up the drum?
Right.
So I just started hitting stuff. I don't know why. I just was attracted to rhythm and drumming. And so my first drum set was, there's an ice cream called Baskin Robbins ice cream, and the tubs that they scoop the ice cream out of. Those were my drums, and then I had little Lincoln Log kids
Right.
building toys and little wood sticks. So that's what I play. That's only the finest equipment.
Yeah, man.
At the very beginning.
We got to start somewhere. And who did you play along with? Who did you listen to? What records were you hearing?
Well, I grew up in outside of Detroit.
Okay.
And like I say, I had an older brother who was really into, Jimi Hendrix,
Right.
and Cream, and
That MC5 record laying around the house somewhere?
yeah. Being in Detroit,
Yeah,
of
man.
course. And you couldn't miss it, and all the Motown stuff,
Right.
of course, was on the radio, and it was fantastic in that way to be exposed to that sort of, obviously, great music.
Yeah.
And played in bands with my brother. Our first band was called Rockin' Conspiracy. Back around '73, for Watergate,
Yeah, man.
we were like the Rage Against the Machine of the
Detroit
day. Yeah, of Detroit. We were very political. No, we just, again, played Gloria.
Yeah. Did you first hear it by them, by Van Morrison's band, or by Shadows of Night from Chicago?
Ooh, I think by them. I think.
Yeah.
I think. It was so long ago. What is there a version? Are they different?
Same,
It's
not much different.
yeah.
The Shadows of Night just cover it. Let's play it a little.
Ew. Yeah.
I'll tell you about my baby. Well, she comes around about 5 feet 4 from her head to the ground. Comes around here just about midnight. Make me feel so good, Lord. Make me feel alright. And her name is G-L-O-R. Ay, 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 ay. G-L-O-R-I. Gloria. G-L-O-R-I. Gloria.
I don't think of myself as a guitar player. When I'm playing with a band, I think of myself that I'm playing the band. I really listen to everybody because to me, that's what's so exciting and so joyful, that interplay between people.
What I notice playing with him is any good musician is he's a great listener. He doesn't play too much. He's all about a song, and he's just really fun to play with. He has great time, extremely musical, and fun. And he just wants to have fun, and that's what I want to do. When I'm playing music, I want it to be fun.
And the thing about that song, a lot of guitar players, there's two of those like crucial bar band songs that a lot of guitar players get wrong. Gloria goes E, E minor, D, A. A lot of guys just play it
Stay
E,
on the
D,
E.
But if you listen, then the other one, of course, is. The real thing is it's an E minor, the third chord, not an E major. And it's not as crucial almost as Gloria to the sound of it, but hey, that's the chord.
That's
So,
it.
Perfect intro, by the
Yeah,
way. Do that
yeah,
again. So. You can tell by the way that Chad knows the right intros and the right outros to those songs that he played in some bars. As did I.
As did you. You
Yes.
cut your teeth in the
In the
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania bar
That's
scene,
right.
very much. We've played thousands of shitty little gigs, you know, that nobody was at or 20 people were at or something, but you learn. You know, for years and years and years I played in bar bands. So with those experiences that both Chad and I have had, when we start playing, we just know, you know, we can give each other the tiniest little musical signal, the little nod of the head, and we know what we're talking about.
Oh, baby, we gotta go. Let's go.
That Kingsman, man,
The Kings.
those
What
the
a great
drums
record.
are like.
Drums are great. The guitar solo is great.
I think.
Okay, so listen, there you were. You're in Michigan.
Yeah.
You're playing. What got you out to the West Coast?
The lovely weather.
Really? Was it really
Well,
just?
it was partly. Well, no, I have to say, really, it was. I'd been playing in clubs. I graduated from high school in 1980. Started playing professionally like right away, and so for 8 years, I'd been in a bunch of different kind of bands. You name it. Things were going, but then it kind of leveled off or plateaued, I felt, and I was back to playing clubs again, a couple sets a night, and I was like, you know, I got to go somewhere where I think it's maybe more happening than here. So my friend, his name is Newt Cole,
Okay.
who's also a percussionist from Michigan, came out to LA a little later than I did, started dating this girl, Denise Zoom. Try to follow along, kid.
Yeah.
Denise Zoom, who was Billy Zoom from X.
Sister?
No,
Wife?
ex-wife.
Ex-wife, okay.
Ex-wife.
Yeah.
Billy Zoom, you know, cool Billy
What a
Zoom.
look. What a look Billy
That-
Zoom had. Yeah, man.
that
The silver sparkle
silver
guitar,
sparkle,
silver hair.
bad.
Yeah.
Loved it. And so Denise had dated John for Frusciante
John Frusciante, yeah.
before he was dating Newt, and she knew from John that they were looking for a drummer. And Newt, my friend, tells Denise, my friend Chad, the guy for the job, he eats drums for breakfast.
There you go.
That's what he told me.
Yeah.
So Denise tells John, I got your guy, he eats drums for breakfast. Unbeknownst to me. I bring in my drums in, and Flea, who's not a tall gentleman, looks up at me and starts settling. He says, so was that your breakfast? I'm like, what? This little guy, I'm like, breakfast? I didn't know about the eat the drums for breakfast thing, ah ha ha. Anyway, so I'm setting up. I'm thinking these guys are weird, you know, and we just immediately, when we just sat down and started playing, it was one of those things, just like.
What was it like for you as a drummer the first time to hear Flea?
You know,
play with him.
And this is you remember this was everything at that time was like hard and fast.
Yeah.
It was all,
Yep.
you know, it was all. There was not a lot of, you know.
No.
But so the energy, you know, he had that, you know, he did that slap,
Popping and slapping.
slapping,
Yeah.
and you know, John was 18 and he's just full of energy. I've never seen anyone break a string and change a string so fast in my life.
Right.
He puts guitar, you didn't want to miss out on the jam. He's like,
Yeah.
It's like James Brown on speed. And yeah, this is great. These guys
Yeah.
fucking sound great. And Anthony wasn't doing it. He was laughing in the corner, you know. He thought it was all funny. And I guess, I don't know, but I was like, come on, you know, maybe I don't really remember, but I was like yelling at him, like, yeah, fucking let's go, you know. And they were like, you were the first guy that like took, you know, like went for it. Wasn't kind of, I guess, more
Not
timid.
afraid of that
Yeah, not
energy,
afraid.
yeah.
Yeah, like, oh yeah?
Sure.
How about this?
Yeah.
You know, it was one of those that I was like, because that's
That's
kind
what
of,
people look for, man. That's what
yeah,
we need.
yeah, you know, they want to be pushed. So anyway, yeah. So musically, we hit it off right away. You know, personally, they were like, oh, I don't know, this guy, shave your head or something. Oh, fuck you, I'm not shaving my head. They were like, okay, we respect that, man.
Yeah.
So funny, this was 25 years ago.
So many
So
of the
nice.
great Chili Pepper songs will start with a very simple little guitar, a quick little intro, not a big statement. Like Under the Bridge has a big, gorgeous
Yeah.
guitar
Yeah.
intro. It's like an overture in classical music. You know, it's like this beautiful thing. But a lot of the songs just start with a quick little thing, and then when you and Flea come in, it's like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
there it is.
There,
You know?
that's the rhythm.
The quick little guitar thing is always very hooky. It always catches the ear, like, ooh, what's happening here? What's going to go on? And then you two guys kick in, and it's magic. You know.
Thank you.
And
Yeah, well, that's,
I love running into the Chili Peppers songs like on the car radio.
yeah.
You know, it's like turn that up. First gig we did was Chad and myself and Tony Shanahan, who's worked with Patti Smith for years. And we just had so much fun. We rehearsed one day and we did the show the next day. It was so sort of seat of the pants, which is what I love. Almost just saying to each other, okay, let's do a song that's this kind of music. We wouldn't even necessarily rehearse the song. We just say, let's do this kind of, and something like this, and something like that. And we just had a ball.
He takes chances. I like musicians that take risks. I mean, we sound checked these songs 2 nights ago, and then we played like 3 or 4 different ones that we didn't sound check. It's fly by the seat of your pants, and you know, it takes balls to be able to do that in front of a crowd. And I like being challenged like that. I think maybe he appreciates that, but he just wants you to like just go for it. You know, and to me, that's what I want to see when I go see musicians. I don't like people going through the motions, or I'm going to stand here, or I'm going to play exactly like the record. He's a risk taker, and so am I, and we're kindred spirits like that.
Give It Away. Is that Rick?
Yeah.
Rubin? The way that he changes the snare drum sound.
Yeah.
In the chorus and
gets it gets goosed a little bit,
Yep.
and then it dries up in the verses.
It dries up in the verses. He takes that that ring off.
The drums are really loud, and
drums are really loud.
Yeah,
which is great.
I really like that.
You like that? The drums are loud, man. Yeah, you know.
But that's enough, you know, when we're talking about recording and stairwells and whatever in different places, we did that record in a house as well in LA. And we cut Give It Away because it's very simple. There's no, maybe some little couple fills at the end that aren't snare drum. It's just kick,
you
snare,
guys are
and
just
hat.
grooving, yeah.
That's it. And he was like, let's put the drums in, and there was a little room off the kind of main room that we were recording in. It was like a real bright room. It had windows like this, but then it had a real, the floor was tile or something.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty bright. Maybe deadened it up a little bit, I can't remember. But it was 4 mics.
Yeah.
That's it. Brendan O'Brien, who's done a lot of great stuff. I think it was his last engineering gig.
So Rick's producing and Brendan's engineering. Nice.
That's good combo.
Pretty good combo.
And we're like, who's this Brendan guy?
Yeah.
He did the Black Crowes and he did this. Oh, no, listen, that Reynolds sounds pretty good. The worst thing is, you know, when you're recording, you want to get something down.
The guy spends 20 minutes with a cymbal.
Oh, no,
mic,
let me hear that. So, sound guys are like, see? You want to play, you want to play. And Brendan was fast, and so we just, let's put the drums over here. Okay. And he just put 2 mics, like kind of there, like 4 feet away, one on the kick and one on the front of the snare, and go. And that's like a pretty good sound. But the room, it was all part of like, it was one of those things that just kind of happened. And
music, notes, but then there's something else that you bring. You know, you got the rhythm, you got the harmonic content of different notes that you play, but then there's this intangible humanness that I think the really great musicians, that's what people see and love. That's what people hear. When I play with Chad, underlying it all is, I mean, Chad doesn't come from some big wealthy background, neither do I. Underlying it all is this thing of, aren't we lucky? You know, that, like, of all the great players, and you know, the world's full of great guitar players and good drummers, and you know, we somehow got lucky. We were in the right place at the right time, and were able to make a career out of it. So that's always in there with Chad. We've never talked about it, but I know that that's in there. I know he'd agree with me.
I don't want her, you can have her. She's too fat for me. She's too fat for me. She's too fat for me. Oh, I don't want her, you can have her. She's too fat for me. She's too fat, much too fat. She's too fat for when we go dancing in a polka. Then na na break. Da 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 da.